The undefeated Milwaukee Bucks are set to face one of the fastest backcourts in the NBA and the Atlanta Hawks, who are 6-3. What are your expectations or observations for this matchup?
I just think that really this matchup is about the Hawks, not the Bucks. And I say that because right now Bucks are undefeated. Like I mean, number one in the Eastern Conference, number one in the overall league. We're talking about in standings. I mean, at the end of the day, who gonna stop Giannis? Like who gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop Giannis and who's gonna stop the Bucks? The reason why I'm not concerned about the Bucks because even if the Bucks lose this game, it is still not a loss for the Bucks. I don't know. They're just that dominant, and they're playing without Chris Middleton. So really, this game is for the Hawks to win. And even in their win, we're talking about long term. I'm still doubtful about the Hawks. I don't know. I know that DeJounte Murray is a great fit for their roster. I love the backcourt of DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. I really like that, especially when Trae Young was injured. His eye got stuck in his eye and he had to step away from the game, and DeJounte Murray took the game home. I
Mm-hmm.
really do like that. I just don't know if they are big enough to really handle the Bucks. And they've already had their first game against the Bucks, like in October, late October, and the Bucks got the win. When we're talking about a matchup against the Bucks, I don't know if the Hawks is just big enough to be able to withstand all that strength, all that length. When we're talking about the players on the Bucks. So yeah.
Wow, and that's funny because I think this matchup is more so about the Bucks than the Hawks. It's
Really?
really about whether or not the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis, who's playing, oh my goodness, out of his mind, MVP status, MVP level, can continue their win streak. I mean, they're playing, like you mentioned, without Chris Middleton, but let's not forget Pat Connaughton and Joe Ingles, who we have not seen
Mm-hmm.
at all. You talking about stretching the floor. Giannis has led the team, I mean, except one game in points, rebounds, and he led a couple of games in assists. Like, what? This is your star power forward. That's not supposed to happen. For me, it's like Giannis watch. For me, it's
You
just
think
like, what
so?
else can he do? Yeah, and can he get the Milwaukee
Mm.
Bucks to 10-0, which sounds fantastic and impressive for this start to the season.
You know what? It does. I agree with you on that. But for me, even if they were to lose against the Hawks, it's not big for me. Not when we're talking about the Bucks and their entire roster. In the roster of players that they're actually working with right now, Drew Holiday is giving us, Drew Holiday will snatch a ball out of your hand if you ain't careful.
Yeah, yes.
So I just think that, and Bobby Portis will give you some. You got Brook Lopez. It's just they have so much strength, so much length, and they are able to pull from their bench to give them some type of production that really makes the Bucks overall team right now just looks phenomenal. And like I say, even if the Hawks come out of this game as a win, for me it means nothing. Not in it relates to the Bucks long-term success. Because the Bucks can lose, they're gonna end up losing the game.
Yeah.
Now you're right. So is it a Bucks watch? Which game will they lose? Is probably what we're gonna be looking at. And if it happens to be against the Hawks, good for them. But when the Hawks see them again, it ain't gonna matter. I mean, not against the Bucks. The Bucks are going to be able to be victorious this season. I think they'll stay at the top of the Eastern Conference as the season continues to progress. Once Chris Middleton comes back, I do
Ooh.
believe that Giannis will be able to take a little bit of rest on the court. I can see it where they'll probably now have him gear himself up for the postseason because I contend that whatever this playoff Giannis we're seeing right now won't be able to sustain throughout the season and deep into the playoffs. So I do believe there'll need to be some type of reprieve that the Bucks will give Giannis by way of maybe less minutes,
Mm-hmm.
switching up of offense while he's on the court, defense or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
something needs to happen because how he's playing right now and how he's leading the Bucks, for him to do that for the next set of games and into the playoffs, I do question that. But the Bucks team is so solid.
Yes, and team chemistry. They've been together
Oh
for a
man.
long time. Oh my goodness. Now, some of the challenges I see for the Atlanta Hawks, it's just like, they already took an L, so there's that in their psyche.
There's
And
that.
then it's like, can they protect home court? Because the Milwaukee Bucks have been very fortunate this season. They've only had to play 2 away games, which were against the Sixers and the Timberwolves. And then we all know they beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Can they go into the Atlanta Hawks arena and still continue to win on the road? So that's a challenge for the Bucks. And the challenge on the flip side is, can the Hawks contend and protect their home court?
Okay, I can support that. And I hope they do. I hope the Hawks win. Bucks still got it for me. And I mean, they're gonna have to lose consecutive games in a row for me to even blink an eye at one loss from the Bucks. Now, if the Bucks lose to the Hawks and then they continue to lose 2 games after that, then I'll become alarmed. But one loss to the Hawks and the Bucks get back on their winning streak, I just it's of no concern for me at all, at
Mm-hmm.
all. So it will make the Hawks feel good, right? Especially since if they can win against a team where Giannis is dominating, and if they figure out a way to find some defense in the Hawks while they're on the floor, consistent defense. I mean, DeJounte Murray can't hold it down. So what, we gonna play 4-on-5?
Yes.
When when the Hawks have to defend, because Trae Young is, you may find him on the floor. I mean, I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I just know that for me, I'm not really concerned about this game if the Bucks lose. That's why.
Okay. The Hawks were also out rebounded in their last matchup, 49-42. I think the challenge for the Bucks will be how will they protect the 3-point range? Because look, we know Trae, he's
from the logo.
hey, he's a sniper, 31% from 3 right now. DeJounte Murray added to that. He's 40% from 3. What can the Bucks do with that? But what's great is the Bucks have bigs that can shoot the 3 ball as well. We know Brook Lopez and his unorthodox shot. He could hit the 3 ball. Bobby Portis, put him in the corner. He gonna knock it down. And Drew Holiday, oh my goodness, don't let him get hot. Giannis has instituted a 3-point, shot to his game. What, last season? I think we started to see it.
Yeah. So it will have to be for the Bucks to lose this game. They were just tired from the road trip. That's how I'm just going to sum it on up, because the versatility in the Bucks roster versus that of the Hawks, I think, is just much more greater for me, just for the points you've mentioned. So yes, what will be the difference maker, I believe, in this game will be the effectiveness on the 3-point line.
Right.
Who's gonna get more? Three points is more than 2. So who's gonna get more? But I can tell you right now, points in the paint,
it's gonna be Giannis.
Capella, you gonna be able to do it?
Yeah.
Capella.
Yeah. John Collins, what you gonna do with Giannis? That's a matchup I'm looking forward to see, though.
Me too. Not only that, Capella and John Collins versus Bobby Portis and Giannis is on the floor together, or if it's Brook Lopez and Giannis on the floor together, what does that look like? That is something to be able to see, again, to see how they're able to manage that. But the thing about the Bucks that I really like is that even if they are down during the game, they know how to rally together to close it out. They can figure it out. They figure it out down the stretch, and Giannis is pretty good at the free throw line. So you can foul him, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to make his free throw. It may take him forever to get it up there, but once he gets it up there, it goes in. So, yeah. And Trae Young in the last game, I want to say it was against the Pels. I mean, he was tearing up Jose Alvarado. He couldn't even, every time Jose Alvarado even thrust to try to stop Trae Young, Trae Young was, getting the layup and getting the foul. So I wonder, Trae Young is clever at that. And so will he take that into this next game where it can potentially give him more shots, even if it has to be at the free throw line,
Yeah, and he shoots pretty well from 3. Both, I mean, him and DeJounte, both, when they slash to the rim, or they can make their 3-point shots. Now, who do you see coming out of this matchup? I think it's pretty evident. You've made it pretty clear. So
I have the Bucks.
Yeah,
I do have the Bucks. I have the Bucks coming out. I have the Bucks taking this, making it 10-0 for their successful start of the season. However, I will say this: if they lose, I'm still not shook. Not from the Bucks' perspective. So I have the Bucks winning.
Yeah, I had the Bucks winning too. But I think it's going to be competitive, though. I'd like to see them get to 10-0. I'm not sure what their historical record will be for the Milwaukee Bucks. But the way they're playing right now, I don't think the Hawks can stop them.
Yeah. I think it will be a very competitive game. And I like competitive games. I don't want a blowout. I don't want it to be a blowout. Blowout games are no fun to watch. And I don't want to watch blowout games. So I do want the Hawks, because if the Hawks make it to the postseason, they will have to probably come across the Bucks in some manner. Get used to playing against them now. You got enough time to figure out what maybe holes that the Hawks may have that they can probably fill before midseason trade ends. It's all of those things that you should do right now, right, McMillan? So, and the Hawks front office, get it together.